backup picture.
Welcome to Kiggins Bowl at Boggs Field. The field is named in honor of Gary Boggs, who coached for 34 years at Fort Vancouver High School. Only 2 other coaches in the state have spent more years at one school. Coach Boggs won 163 games and 5 league titles. He stayed loyal to Fort Vancouver, even as larger schools opened with newer facilities. His influence on his players spans generations. As one former player stated, Coach Boggs' professional legacy is not in his win-loss record, it's the 3 generations of trappers who are better people because of him. Tonight we have a Greater St. Helens League matchup between the Washougal Panthers and your Hudson's Bay Eagles. We're pleased to welcome you tonight. The Greater St. Helens League and the Washington Interscholastic Athletic Association place major emphasis on sportsmanship. The Greater St. Helens League views good sportsmanship as a conscientious effort by students, parents, and participants to maintain a positive environment during all activities. Our goal is to promote positive school spirit, community involvement, and a sense of pride through mutual respect, encouragement, and intelligent decisions. We hope that you will enjoy the game and support the student athletes from both teams in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Thank you. Spectators are asked to remain in the stadium and visiting bleacher areas and to walk only on paved concrete surfaces. Please keep all food items, nuts, seeds, and flavored drinks away from the turf. Only water is allowed in the team area near the field. Thank you for your cooperation. Officials Officials for tonight's contest are from the Evergreen Football Officials Association are Roger Piles, John Meredith, Pablo Villa, Ryan Moran, and Dennis Liu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem.
Welcome into Kiggins Bowl here in Southwest Washington. Brian Slide, Corey Kier with your call for the matchup between the Washougal Panthers and the Hudson Bay Eagles. And Corey, you're familiar with these two teams, and what can you expect from these two today?
Well, both of them are going to play good football. Both of them have coaches that are experienced on the sideline. And as a matter of fact, Hudson's Bay has two coaches that were head coaches on the sideline. So it should be good, sound football tonight.
Now, Washougal finished third in the league last year, lost in the quarterfinals. They are currently 1-1 on the season. Last week they fell to Ridgefield 48-0. Meanwhile, Hudson Bay is 0-2, lost to Mark Morris 15-8 last week. Bright spot for them was Jamarian Hinton, 90 yards on the ground with a touchdown. Washougal set to kick off. Hudson's Bay back to receive. Back for Hudson's Bay looks to be Duke Beamer and Jamarian Hinton to receive the opening kickoff tonight. Start of week 3. High school football here in Southwest Washington.
Kickoff, and the Eagles will receive.
Low line drive kick. Beamer's going to pick this one up off the ground. Had a few blockers to his right at the 30, and he'll be knocked out of bounds by number 20, Tyler Hagen.
35-yard line.
Yeah, I stand corrected, Brian. Actually, looking across the sideline, Washougal also has another head coach, Terry Hyde, who was the longtime head coach at Evergreen High School. So a lot of coaching experience on both sidelines.
You're no stranger to this conference. Coaching baseball and football through the years, Corey. In fact, happy to have you up in the booth with me tonight for this broadcast. First one for football between us. Spread formation for the Eagles starting off. In motion is Dylan Damos. Ball's on the ground. Still loose. Washougal seems to be celebrating it. Referee coming in, and the call, it'll be Washougal football. So the first play for the Eagles results in a fumble and a turnover.
Yeah, it looks like Ranton Reynolds got on the fumble there, squeaked out on the jet sweep, and he pounced on it, and now the ball's going the other way.
Now the Panthers will take over
the starters
37-yard line.
On offense. As they come out. Bunch right formation for the Panthers. Everybody in motion, shifting to the left. Pitch to Boylan, and he'll get wrapped up and taken down for a minimal gain. In fact, he might have lost a yard on that one.
Carries cut down for a loss of 1.
Taken down by Pablo Pedroza.
Yeah, Brian, you and I have done a lot of baseball together, but this is my first football, and I appreciate you inviting me up in the booth with you.
Of course. Run for Boylan again to the right side, found a hole, got through a couple of Eagles and tackled for about a gain of 5 yards on the play for the Panthers. It'll be 3rd down.
Peter Boylan on the carry again.
Out there for Washougal, Sean Harris, Colin Massey, Jose Alvarez Cruz, and William Rathbone on the offensive line, along with Gunnar Bjorklund. Starting out on the outside, Michael Egger, Gavin Tiaki, Gavin Moulter, and Brig Griffin. Also out there for Washougal. Here's the swing pass out to Boylan. A couple Eagles in on that one.
Looks like the corner number 10, Gonzalez, got off the block and got up quick and knocked down the little push swing route.
It'll be 4th and 5 now for the Panthers.
The Panthers are going to go for it.
They set up 3 wide receivers out to the right. And a timeout called by Washougal here in the first quarter. 10-12 on the clock. And Washougal with the short field right now. You know, field goal kicking not really much of a factor in high school football too often. They're taking a chance here on 4th down, Corey. What do you think they're drawing up?
I think, quite frankly, high school football, you know, it's 2-down territory when you get from about the 50 to about the 22, 24-yard line. So definitely 2-down territory here. They're going to go for it. I'd like to go back to the play that number 10, Mario Gonzalez, made there. You know, did a great job. Wide receiver came out on him, made a nice block on him. He shed the block and came up and got that tackle in the backfield. And, you know, I always tell our guys that if they're coming out to block you, they're not coming to say hi. So the ball's probably coming your way. So you got to get off those blocks to make those tackles.
Empty backfield right now for Tristan Farrell.
Here we are, 4th and 5.
4 receivers to the right. Farrell looks right. Pass complete for the 1st down. And that looks to be Gavin Moulter on the reception. It looks to be a pickup of about 9 yards and a 1st down now for the Panthers.
Looks like the free safety Duke Beamer came up and made the tackle on that from Hudson's Bay.
Boylan in the backfield. He'll take the handoff here. Sweep on the right side. Has a big hole. An opening here. He's at the 5-yard line. One person to beat. Stretches and in the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. What a run right there by Peter Boylan. Taking the sweep on the outside. Got a couple of blockers in front of him. Here's a replay.
Yeah, did a good job reading the end. Got to the outside. Got by one and then ran through the last guy. Reached out for the touchdown.
He had Moulter and Tiaki out there at the wide receiver position, putting a couple of big blocks out on the edge. And now Peter Boylan kicking the extra point for the Panthers. High snap, got it down, kick is up, and it'll be good. So the Panthers lead 7-0. After Hudson's Bay got the opening kickoff, fumbled on the very first play, and the Panthers turned it into 7, and they lead 7-0, Corey.
Yeah, and you know, looks like Peter Boylan, he does everything. He's going to run for the touchdown, then he's going to kick the extra point. So got himself some points already, doesn't he? Yeah, those early turnovers, they hurt. I mean, you always want to win that turnover game, and you know, the first play from the line of scrimmage, Bay fumbled the jet sweep, turned it over, and gave him a short field, and it turns into points.
Yeah, last week with your Columbia River team, they turned a couple turnovers into points in that first half, and that really exploded things for that River club.
Yeah, I mean, last week we started with a first play interception, and we're down, and you have to battle back. And the game is definitely not over, that's for sure. We proved that last week, and I'm sure Hudson's Bay will prove that tonight, or try to.
Holden B sent the kick for Washougal.
That's quite a name at Washougal, B. It's a big-time family out there. Brevin B, a couple of years ago, was one of their linebackers, one of the best football players in the conference.
Kick bouncing off the receiver. And a big tackle made at the 27-yard line. Picks up his man on the way. Garrett Mansfield laying the wood on that last hit.
And then Brevin B has a cousin named Beyonce B who's playing basketball over in Idaho, and that is Holden's sister. So when you hear B out in Washougal, you know there's going to be some athleticism on the field.
Offensively, for Hudson's Bay, Devontae Moore, Dylan Damos, Pablo Pedroza, and Ryder Bond. Those will be the receivers for the Eagles. Jamarian Hinton and Raven Barnes, quarterback and the running back. Offensive line, Hayden DeGrande, Levi McKaylee, Zephanias Tuiana, Tyler Bennett, and Chris Martin, the offensive line for the Eagles. So spread formation. Hinton in motion to the left, and that pass looked to be a forward one, so should be incomplete, and that's what the referees are going to call it. And talk about what could have been costly. 2 turnovers on consecutive plays to start out the game for the Eagles. They're fortunate on that one. Here's another look. Looks like he just let Hinton a little too much towards the line. Hinton just couldn't get both hands on it. Defensively for Washougal, Gabriel Kent, Jose Alvarez Cruz, Aiden Bonestell, and Skylar Boothby. That's the front line. Peter Boylan, Garrett Mansfield, and Renton Reynolds. That's the linebacking core. We'll give you the secondary in just a moment. Pass over the middle, and it's dropped in and out of the hands of number 17, Dylan Damos, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. There seems to be a flag on the play. It could have been a false start, possibly on the outside. See anything on that replay there, Corey?
They're calling false start, so it must be at the top of the screen out there. It looked like he got off on time with me, but it was real close. You know, one thing with the spread offense, these guys are using claps now, and sometimes those claps in the stadium, you know, you can't hear it as well. So
one thing that we were taught, never even focused, if you were out on the edge, you never focused on what the play count was or what the clap was. You were supposed to be looking at the football.
Yeah, you get yourself in trouble when you're out there on the edge and you're trying to rely on a sound or on a clap rather than just visually watching the football. And you don't really need the advantage that maybe a lineman needs. You know, on the inside and with the line, you know, we want to get off quick, but on the outside, you can see it when it goes.
So, spread formation, 2 receivers each side. Damos in motion. Pass again over the middle. This one skipping
Second down pass is incomplete.
into the arms of receiver for the Eagles. Now it looks to be number 16, McLean Clark. So it'll be 3rd and 15 now for Hudson's Bay. These two teams, the last time they played, Washougal beat Bay 40-0 on September 6th of 2019. In fact, Washougal has won the last 8 meetings dating back to 2010. 3rd and 15. Pedroza was in motion. Here's a long pass down the sideline, ranging back towards the sideline, unable to make the grab was Ryder Bond.
4th and 15 for the Eagles.
Yeah, 2019 seems like forever.
Oh my goodness, too long.
Yeah, Washougal had quite a squad last year, which was 2019. They did very, very well. Won a couple playoff games, won their play-in game in Week 10, and played in Week 11 to lost in the quarterfinals with a senior-laden team.
Tiaki and Moulter back to receive the punt for Washougal. Snap right on target. Good high punt. Moulter will take this one. They're on the Eagles side of the 50. He's got an opening down the right side, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Number 5, Gavin Malter on the return.
Levi McKaylee seemed to be the one to make the hit on the sideline against the Panthers, but they'll take over 1st and 10 on the Eagles side of the field again on back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, they got themselves in trouble with the penalty and got themselves on a short field again.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. 9:16 in the first quarter still to go.
Panthers will take over the 32-yard line.
Four receivers to the left. Backwards pass, caught near the ground, making one move and getting up to about the 25-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 26. That catch was made by Gavin Tiaki.
And the tackle by Hayden D. Grand Prix. I got to get these names down. There's some tough ones tonight.
Gain of 6 on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, they run 4 on this side and threw a backwards screen pass back to him. Boy, he drops that. That could have been trouble.
Here's a rush on the right side, trying to break out on the edge. It looks to be a minimal gain of about 2 yards by Ranton Reynolds.
Again around the right side. That's how we stop for no gain.
Going to be sitting at about 3rd and 2 now for the Panthers, and you mentioned it the last drive. This is going to be 2-down territory. See how the Panthers line up. 4 receivers set up on the near side.
Really interesting set. They've won 4 receivers to this side and forced 4 guys to come out and defend them on the wide side of the field.
Here's another screen pass back to Reynolds. He dropped that one, and that one looked almost could have been a backwards pass there. And they're marking that one incomplete. And Washougal fortunate on that one.
Yeah, you probably have to see that on the replay, but I feel like they're throwing that ball backwards, and that's a dangerous move if you drop it.
3 receivers at the top of the screen for Washougal. Greg Griffin on the near side. Pass out near the flat. Unable to make the catch was Michael Egger. Big day last week. 7 passes for 47 yards, even though Washougal was shut out by Ridgefield. And on 4th down, it'll be a turnover on downs, and Hudson's Bay will take over.
Yeah, they went 2 consecutive passes with 3 yards to go with Boylan, who had the big run last time, probably trying to mix in that pass play a little bit.
The defensive secondary for Washougal: Carson Morris, Liam Atkins, Theodosi Berry, and Xavier Gilmore. So we get the rest of those starters out there for you.
Turned out to be a beautiful night here, Brian. You know, this morning when I got to the office, it was pouring down rain and about 48 degrees, and I'm picturing ourselves in this open booth with rain just pouring on us, so it's nice that we got a break in the weather.
It's nice, yeah, the rain held off. Of course, last week for your game, it seemed like it never stopped. You thought you might possibly get that game in with no rain. A plethora of Panthers there to make the tackle. About a gain of 3 for the Eagles. Jamarian Hinton on the rush, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
That's Jamarian Hinton on the carry.
Well, early on, it's just a couple of broken plays for the Eagles, just did not go their way. They had a sweep play that resulted in a fumble on the opening play of the game. A couple of drop passes, a couple of passes that ended up short. Here's one over the middle, and that is caught. That'll be a first down.
For a gain of 8, and that's enough for the Eagles' first down.
Dylan Damos with the catch. Gain of 8 for the first down.
Quick little slant off the left side. Looks like Hudson's Bay's coming out and just trying to do small, easy stuff to kind of get their offense going.
Spread formation, 2 receivers each side. And that pass is going to be caught. Gain of 8. on the outside. Looks like Devontae Moore making that catch on the sideline.
Really nice catch out there. Ball was placed nicely on the sideline on the out, and he went out there and got it, made a nice catch, and got his feet in bounds. You know, a lot of times, Brian, you know, these games, you start out with little jitters and things kind of go bad, and then you get out and start to get a little drive going, and then it opens up for you, and that looks like what Bay's trying to do here.
And that one knocked out at the line and almost picked off. Athletic play on the edge by Skylar Boothby. Knocked that one up in the air. Almost had a chance of that one on his backside.
Yeah, you're taught to, you know, if the quarterback's throwing, try to get your hands in the air and see if you can knock it down, and that's exactly what he did. And it almost was perfect. It almost landed right in his lap, and could have been an interception.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 as the rain starts to fall now here at Kiggins Bowl.
Should have kept my mouth shut.
Came up a couple of times last week as well. So 3rd and 2 for Dean Jesus Castillo. Hinton in the backfield to his left. Hinton up the middle, and he got pushed forward on that tackle. He'll get the first down for the Eagles. They'll have fresh set at their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, so far Hinton's ran the ball really well. It's been really hard yards, but he's had a lot of yards after contact. You know, he gets hit at the line and has gotten 2-3-yard runs, so that's good. Protects the football inside like he's supposed to. Good looking back.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 48-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 48. 7-0 lead right now for Washougal. So we're about halfway through the first quarter. 2 receivers on the far side with an H-back just behind the left tackle. Hinton again up the middle. Had a good opening, and he looks to have picked up about 7 yards on that carry. 2nd and 7, and this will be the Eagles' first play on the Panthers side of the field tonight. And got the hesitation off the end. Thad McDonald. It looked like not necessarily an option play, it was a straight give, but the way that he came after the quarterback, he didn't know which person to go after.
Yeah, Hinton set that round up by running behind the double team and then getting his foot in the ground and bouncing backside, so found some opening.
Damos in motion again. Castillo throws on the run and breaking up that one, and nope, he'll get a flag in the back end. That was Theodosi Berry, and he might have gotten there just a half second too early on Damos.
We'll take a look at the replay and see what happens here.
Dean Jesus Castillo stepping up in the pocket. And just momentarily beating his man to where the ball was. So, first down.